In 1521, one of the most significant turning points in world history took place, the Siege of Tenochtitlan, which led to the fall of the Aztec Empire. But how did these events unfold? I'm gonna tell you, because I'm just a nice guy. I'm Sean, I turn educational content short form for your attention span, so you should like and follow, even if that voice I did was cringe as fuck. Before the siege, Spanish conquistador Hernán Cortés arrived in 1519, driven by expansion, wealth, and Christianization under the Spanish crown. The Aztec Empire, ruled by Emperor Moctezuma, was powerful and centered in its capital was Tenochtitlan, a massive city built on Lake Texcoco, home to hundreds of thousands. Early interactions started cautiously. Cortés made a lot of alliances with Aztec enemies, most importantly the Tlaxcalans. Because of these alliances, tensions between the Aztecs and the Spanish escalated, and by November 1519, Cortés ended up taking Moctezuma captive and using him as a political tool. In June 1520, violence erupted in what is now known as the Massacre in the Great Temple. The Spanish were eventually driven out on the Night of Sorrows, June 30th, 1520, suffering heavy losses. Moctezuma ended up dying during this conflict, and Cuitláhuac, I can't pronounce it, that's the best you're getting, briefly took power before dying of smallpox. He was succeeded by Cuauhtémoc, who led the defense as epidemic disease spread throughout Tenochtitlan. But with the worst timing ever, Cortés returns with a rebuilt army and indigenous allies. And on May 26, 1521, the siege of the capital began. They blockaded the city by land and by small warships on the lake, cutting off food and water. The siege lasted for 3 months, filled with street-by-street combat, starvation, and massive casualties between defenders and civilians. And finally, on August 13, 1521, Cuauhtémoc was captured by Spanish forces attempting to flee across the lake. With his capture, resistance collapsed and the Aztec Empire fell. Tenochtitlan was largely destroyed, and Spain started constructing Mexico City in its ruins, marking the start of Spanish rule across Mesoamerica. Let me know in the comments if you guys think the siege would have turned out differently if it wasn't for the massive spread of disease. Source and